So, a few days ago, I was prompted with a question by one of my friends about what movies I thought were shitty movies. Let me give you a little backstory about all this. When I see movies, or films, moving pictures, whatever you want to call them, I don't want to say I'm more open-minded to certain qualities of film, but I'm definitely laxed when it comes down to film in general. So, odds are, not only will I love or like a film that is beloved by not only critics and the audiences as well as my friends, I will also like a movie that was panned by the critics and hated by my friends. I don't know, that's just the way things have always been. I don't really go out of my way to hate on films. When I see a film, first and foremost, I'm there for the entertainment value. I mean, that's what movies are made for. They're made for purely entertainment. I mean, yes, you have films that are made for artful purposes and for delivering a metaphorical, symbolic meaning at times, but at the heart of film, they're really meant to entertain you. They are a form of entertainment. They are here for your enjoyment, whether they're of quality or not. No film can ever really match the aura of ultimate perfection. There will always be some kind of flaw within the film, but it's forgiven because it's a film, it's fictitious. But this is not the point of the video today. The point of this video is that, despite my laxness, very rarely do I hate a film. Very rarely do I consider a film a piece of shit. But today, that mentality has shifted somewhat. Because I just got finished viewing a film that was, for lack of better terminology, a piece of fucking garbage! Just had to get that out of my system. That film was The Final Destination. Not Final Destination, but The Final Destination. The fourth film in the Final Destination series. When you're looking at the Final Destination films, obviously you're not looking at them for quality, but I think it's safe to say that the first film in the series and the second film in the series were probably the best in terms of quality. They were not bad films. The first film I've only seen like all the way through once. But from my understanding, it is a pretty good movie. A pretty good cult favorite. Now, I was watching The Final Destination, and I knew right off the bat, as soon as I turned it to the channel, it was awful! You see, there's a difference between a bad film that you can like and a bad film that's noticeably bad. I mean, if a film manages to not be noticeably bad while you're watching it, at least the first time, then kudos to that film. It's managed to trick you into liking it, when in reality, it is a piece of shit. The Final Destination, this was my first viewing of The Final Destination, and noticeably, right offhand, I'm just like, oh my god, this is an awful movie. The script is awful, the deaths are so fucking extravagantly insane and like retarded looking. The acting is atrocious. Everything about that movie was noticeably bad, and usually I can't tell that. Clearly this film was crafted predominantly for the 3D aspect, but you see, I didn't get the 3D effect because I was watching it on normal ass TV. Therefore, I saw it for the shit that it really was. And if I were a fan of the Final Destination series, I would be fucking furious at what I just saw. This film was originally intended to be the final film in the Final Destination series. It was. And when I'm watching this movie, I'm just like, this is supposed to be the Final Destination? This is the Final Destination? No, 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 no! Fuck that shit. I'm sure fans have a soft spot for this film, but no, I think that you should not have a soft spot for this film. This film was a piece of goddamn garbage. And you should be ashamed for liking this movie. You see, when you go to see a final film in a series of films, whether it's a guilty pleasure or not, you want it to be a good send-off. That was not a good send-off. And first and foremost, one reason why they made Final Destination 5 is obviously because the return on the Final Destination was beyond their expectations, so they're just like, okay, we have to make a fucking sequel. But I think another reason why they made a sequel to the Final Destination, which was actually received a lot better than the Final Destination, was because it was a piece of goddamn garbage. That's why. Final Destination 5, from my understanding, was actually a pretty decent film, and from my understanding, was most likely received better. Like, it would have been a better send-off for the franchise. But clearly there will be more Final Destination films, because they're gonna keep milking the dead horse until it kills everybody. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Today, I discovered a film that I really, 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 really don't like. I won't say hate. I rarely use the word hate. But this is definitely a film that doesn't come around very often, according to my psyche. You want to see a piece of shit? Go and watch The Final Destination. You won't be disappointed. Because it sucks. Peace!